Alright, hello? Testing. Alright, hello everybody, welcome to today's Major League Tournament. I am your host, the Unyielding, or Sud Wendigo. Today's tournament's going to be a little bit shorter, since we only have the 6 participants. So there will be no quarterfinals, there will be semifinals and finals as always. As far as the finals go, it's going to be double elimination. So you will have a chance to climb back up to winner's bracket from loser's bracket for the final round. As always, that finals match is going to be one where the loser from loser's bracket will have to win 2 best of 3s in a row to be able to take the win. The finalist will only have to complete one of those matches. Oh, what's up, base person? Let me know if my audio needs any tweaking or whatever. I think it should be the same as the Titan League tournament from last time, but let's go ahead and get into our first match here. I think this one should be between Yeetus and Tempex. If I can figure out which page my spectator client was on. There we go. And then Pariah and Book, if you guys are on the stream, your matches are a little postponed. They got pushed a little bit further up into the brackets here. Yeah, my VODs are on this time. I had it enabled from the start, so hopefully it should be recording it this time. I don't know if I need to record through Streamlabs or not, but I have it on Twitch, so it should be recording the VOD, like, automatically. If it's not, I don't think it's too big a deal, but I mean, I definitely hope it does work this time, because I had a little bit of trouble last time with yours. So hopefully we can get some more participants in the future. Honestly, just waiting on E to drop that free-to-play update. Because I'm really thinking once he gets something like that out, I think there's gonna be a lot more people, hopefully. I'm not playing favorites or anything, but yeah, I'd have to agree on that. They did come second in the tournament with Furina. I don't know why Regnort's tournament was not into Hall of Fame, so I'm not sure if they participated in that one, but they did come second in the tournament with I don't know 25, so I'd say they've got a fairly good chance of winning with today's lineup. I know we do have one older player returning this time. Looks like we're getting into our match, but I am seeing W here this time. Haven't seen them in quite a while for any of these tournaments. Oh, hello, Red Wolf. I think for a free-to-play update to come to fruition, I think a little bit more expansion on Iron Strike needs to happen. And if he gets his Darknet game onto Quest, I think he might be in a good spot to do that, since people will be, buying those games. Let me turn the things off real quick. Alrighty, so we are getting into our first match here between Tempex and Yeetus. Tempex starting off with their classic Crusader, Yeetus starting off with their Samurai. I know Yeetus always comes very high energy to these tournaments. Tempex still rocking that same fit. Typically Samurai has had a couple of issues against Crusader, mainly on the defense. Crusader's flail able to move pretty quickly around there. Seeing Tempex getting a lot of hits in here. It's like a time-based subscription. You gotta like, you can pay for a year for like $200 to play the whole Iron Bundle. Otherwise, it kicks you out. You're just able to play versus the tutorial bot the whole time. It's a little demo. Yudis not having gone in on attack leaves a window for Tempex to come in for a second one, able to land a couple more hits, get Yudis down to about 2/3 of their health. Yudis now going in for the attack with Samurai. Their katana is usually able to get past Crusader's defense here. Samurai especially has an advantage on offense in this matchup, simply due to the fact that it can get around the shield very quickly. Actually, Red Wolf, I'm not too sure. I think they might have been trying to get some kind of little thing in there. Trying to do a rock, paper, scissors dance battle. I'm not sure. It's happened quite a couple times in different tournaments with different people, but Tempex having gone in for their third attack here. Yudis having blocked most of that first barrage from the flail there, but Tempex picking some of that damage back up. Kind of looks like a lot of back and forth here. Yudis sending out some of their range attacks while spinning, just for the extra style points. He's going in for their next attack here, starting with a one-handed opener, trying to get some of those feints in towards the head, able to get big damage like that 600 hit. See, these hits really start stacking up, but it's just enough to get Tempex a little bit lower than them. Tempex charging up to full, rushes in for their next attack here, getting a couple of introductory hits in here, more so to the legs and lower body. Not seeing as many headshots from the Crusader. Yudis at lower health, but with Tempex's vulnerability, they might be able to capitalize on it. However, Yudis decides to be silly. Unfortunately, now that that vulnerability is not present anymore, it's going to be harder to rack up that damage. However, they got one good headshot in, one nice shot to the shoulder. Tempex playing the defensive on those range attacks, just letting the energy charge up to full, making sure they have enough just to seal the deal on Yudis here. Getting one good shot to the shoulders and a headshot, kind of mixing those hits up between the torso and the legs. Able to just chip away until Yudis loses. Yeah, no, Red Wolf, I know what you're talking about. The kind of spin where it's very weird to play against. Because it will, like, proc a bunch of ghost hits every time it happens. But I don't know what they're doing, really, to make it look like their neck's kind of getting snapped while they're dodging around. I don't know, it happens a lot. I think Tempex is champ and Yudis is elite. But I'd say they were honestly doing pretty well for how it was going. I know Samurai usually has the advantage in that matchup, though. Tempex switching on to the Ninja. I'm not sure if that's something we've seen in the tournaments before with them. Yudis staying on that Samurai. This is definitely one of those more interesting matchups because Samurai definitely is able to maneuver around Ninja, but Ninja, having its offense being the way it is, tends to be able to get past that defense fairly well. Tempex having gone in for the first attack, able to get quite a few hits in for Ninja. Able to get Yidis down about a quarter of their health. I might download the VOD myself and post it on my channel, if that's good with you. I was planning to get that on there. I don't have too much on there at the moment, but figured I'd just throw it on there for now. Tempex having gone, Yidis having gone in for their first attack here, pulls out a little bit. Nope, wrong health bar. Never mind, using that full energy bar, able to get Tempex down just a bit, but Yidis is still on the back foot here. Tempex with the energy lead, doing a taunt or something. Yidis is able to get in there on the first thing. Sorry, it's hard to tell what they're doing sometimes, just because that little neck snap thing. I don't know how that's comfortable during offense. But yes, these are best of threes. Tempex going in for their next attack here. Looking like they're switching to a slower style of Ninja in between this faster style. You don't hit the camera. Cameras are expensive. Started to see less cameras in multiplayer matches because they just kept shooting them. Yidis having gone in for the next attack here. Starting off a bit quick, looking like they might be trying to figure out what spots are the best to get those hits in. Mainly getting them in on the legs here after feinting. Not able to build up a lot of damage because of that though. Tempex now going in for their next one. Looking to get more of those headshots and kind of shoulder shots through with Ninja. Trying to take advantage of that double hit mechanic just to get a little more of that damage through. Yidis now about a fourth of what Tempex is at here. Looks like they're kind of surrendering. Like they also want to play rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors into the samurai quick draw. Getting a lot of those leg shots in on Tempex's vulnerability. Brings him down quite a bit. Something the submerged guard might work, but Tempex does have a full bar of energy and is just about certainly going to kill Yidis here. As predicted, Yidis does take that hit, and Tempex will take that first match here. Means he will be moving on to the match with Book. It looks like Juiced has won their match versus W 2-0, so they will also be moving on to their first match here. Alright, give me just a moment as I post the codes. Yidis and W are down to the loser's bracket, so whoever will get knocked out in round 2 here get moved up. quick question. What are you guys' favorite drinks? Um, Currently, I got a little drink for myself here. Um, say it's pretty good. Got about 2 ounces of, the fuck is this thing? 2 ounces of caramel vodka, Smirnoffs. Um, got about 2 ounces of ginger ale, and then 4 ounces of apple cider. So it's a pretty good seasonal drink. I will say water is a very good primary option, though. You know, it's good for everything. Universal solvent. It's really good for keeping you hydrated. Yeah, I'd say water's a pretty good drink. Just yeah, I think it's like universally agreed upon. Well, you can't drink yet? Me neither. I'm doing it anyways, though. I don't know if that breaks Twitch TOS, but hell, give it a shot. Is it a crime if I'm in my own home? I don't think it is. Anyways, getting into our next match here between Pariah and Juiced. I believe Allied is there in the gold. Could say Allied gold. Juice there. Armor I haven't really seen before. I'm going to assume Allied is starting off with Dragoon here. Looks like Juiced is starting off with the Duelist and Allied with the Dragoon. This has always been an interesting matchup for me. Simply because Duelist defends Dragoon very well, and it can get past that defense well as well. Well and good, you could say. You can see Juiced is getting past that defense. Just for a little bit, though. Didn't get too much damage in off that introductory attack, but Allied does clap back immediately after, getting one good headshot in here, but a lot of other nice hits to the lower body. Juiced at a bit of a disadvantage on health. Allied just charges up a little bit so they can throw it ranged. Regnort's clipping my crimes, where I'm not popular enough yet to get demonetized. They'll find it later. It'll come back up like 5 years later and then they'll ban me. Juiced having gone in, able to get a couple of good hits to the upper body there. Allied focusing more on that right side with a lot of those feints into low sweeps. Able to get one big headshot in there that really took him down. Allied charging up their health bar, going in for a second attack here. A little bit greedy and does leave them pretty vulnerable on that section of their health. Juice trying to send out some of those harassing range attacks. Decides to go in just while the vulnerability's there, just to capitalize on it. Utilizing a lot of that vertical and horizontal voodoo you saw there. Try and get past that guard. Allied, charging up all the way, decides to go in for their own attack here. Able to get a lot of hits on the upper body, plus headshots. Quite a few headshots actually, seeming to target mostly just that upper section to build in that damage. See, they have an incredibly strong lead here and just decide to keep putting on the pressure. Now with a full bar of vulnerability. Say, I'd love to see a clutch from Juice, but how it's going right now, Allied still, even with that little health, able to charge, decides to charge up and keep putting pressure on. Juice deciding not to rush in, lets Allied charge up just a bit more. Allied bringing them down to just a sliver of health. Leaves Juice to rush in and attempt to get more hits. Able to get huge damage in because of the vulnerability, but they just don't have enough energy to capitalize on it. Juiced, giving up, letting Allied do something cool for the finisher. Decides to end it off with the parry dagger, a whopping 33 damage. think the thing I love about the helmet that Juiced is wearing is it kind of puts your head like really far forwards, so it kind of looks like the I forgot the image, but it's like the gamer posture kind of, you know, where you're just really close to the screen, kind of bent in. I find that really funny about that helmet. Looks like we're getting into our next round here. Allied with the Knight and Juiced with the Scourge. We might fill out Class Bingo if someone plays Berserker and Monk and Reaper. Allied going in for the first attack, not seeing any introductory charging here. However, we are seeing immediate attacks. Juiced able to get one good whip crack into the lower body here. Looks like they're kind of playing it like in a more pincher style. Allied having a bit of an energy advantage and a health lead. Does take a hit from Juiced range attack. I am wondering if they will charge in. Taking 2 more hits, kind of forced to charge in there. Getting 1 good hit from the poke. Starting to try and get those circles around, but most of it is defended by Juice this time. Charging up a little more just so they can throw out a range attack. Still taking hits from Juiced's range attacks. Juiced deciding they want to go in, able to get 1 introductory poke in, as well as 2 more whip cracks to different sections of the body here. I think they may need to pick up the pace on that Scourge if they want to get any real damage in. Allied having just enough health, able to charge up, get themselves just about half. 1 range attack from Juiced coming in, forces Allied to charge and throw out their own range attacks. Having decided to go in, not getting as many hits as they need to be getting against Juiced here to be getting in that damage. However, they did get 1 large hit to the shoulders there with both blades. Juiced going for some of those lower whip cracks. Missed it on the intro, but ended up getting 1 more in there. Looks like they are taking advantage of their distance pretty well here for the damage, but then again, the attacks still aren't coming through fast enough. Both players sending out their range attacks. Juiced getting quite a few hits in with theirs. Allied deciding to go in, using more of that horizontal voodoo, able to get an incredible amount of damage in here. Keeps getting small hits chipping through the block. Allied now with a substantial health advantage. Sitting in the lead here. Juiced throwing out a couple more range attacks as usual, getting 1 in. Allied charging up, kind of just to bait him into charging. Juiced getting 3 very good whip cracks in here, able to bring Allied down just a bit lower in health to them. Juiced now has a health lead, Allied has about half bar of energy. Allied choosing to charge up their energy, be able to rush in. Trying to get more of those low hits as a kind of assurance move, just to make sure they can ship him down to low health. Trying to get more of those wobbles in with horizontal voodoo. However, it's not enough for Juiced, and Allied takes this match. So with that one, Allied has beat Juiced 2-0, so Allied will be moving on to semifinals. Looks like Book has also finished their matches. They have beat Tempex 2-0. From how it's going right now, it looks like it will be a match between Book and Pariah. probably a close match here. So we will be doing the semifinals once we get these losers rounds out of the way first. We just want to get losers round 1 and losers round 2 out of the way before we decide who's going to be doing semifinals here. Alrighty, I'm going to try and get in this match with Tempex and W. I know we have not seen W yet, so I would like to be able to spectate one of their matches in the tournament today. I think Allied does have a pretty good chance here, since they got to semifinals here. Been seeing good things about them so far, so we can hope. I know Book is the fan favorite kind of here. Hello, Hydra. Hydra. Was good. So far it's looking like a match between Book and Allied Hydra. Given Tempex or Edis, any one of them from losers might come back up, so given I can't play favorites today because I am hosting, but I will say the 2 in semifinals have good chances. Let me see if they are in their match over here real quick. This other one is not connecting, or they haven't started. looks like they are already in their match here. Coming in here, looks like Yeetus is about half health, Juice just a little bit over than that. However, they are getting their attack in. Juice with the duelist, Yeetus still with their samurai like before. Yeetus just below half here, about a third of their health, is getting just about a full bar of energy. Um, Looks like they had a quick disconnect or something. Um, Juiced going in for their next attack here, trying to get some of their more voodoo-oriented attacks in, but because of the way Yeetus is dodging, it's getting quite a few of those ghost hits in. Starting to adapt to that, able to get a bunch more of those overheads in. Trying to end it off with a range attack there, Yeetus left on a sliver of health. Having gone in for their next attack, trying to get some more of those hits like we've seen, hooking around. Not working to the best effect here. Juiced able to end it off with a stylish poke finisher here. Very nice match. I'm not sure if there was a match before this one or not. This might have been the first one. I'm not all too sure. I have no clue what rank Juiced is. They are above Platinum, but they seem pretty good for their rank. So I'm honestly not too sure. But they have been doing pretty good this tournament, so I'm a little bit surprised since I don't think I've really seen them before, so... I'm thinking Juiced might be like high elite or like low champ from what I've seen so far. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. High elite, low champ. If you can like generalize that level. If you guys will give me just a moment, I'm gonna be using the restroom real quick. Fill me in once I get back. Just let me know what's going on. Looks like I'm back just in time here for the next match. Looks like Juiced, having started off with the Knight here, Yudis continuing with the Samurai. Seeing the Knight used on this introductory attack to less effect than their Duelist. Yudis going in for a quick tap on the nose. Going in for more of those melee attacks, but this time it was fully blocked by Juice. That's good. I don't think I've seen a full block in a while in the tournament. Juiced having that energy boost, able to capitalize on that and go in for the next melee attack. I think the offense here is a bit surprising because I got no idea who Juiced is. Gotta look into them real quick actually. Duelist belt? What do you mean duelist belt? I thought you had duelist belt. Is this a polar alt? No, it wouldn't be a polar alt, would it? Are they an alt? I don't want to start theorizing. I don't think they are, but I just haven't seen a lot of them. It's just a little bit surprising. No, Juiced. So I'm just looking into them a little bit. I just haven't seen anything about them or if they've been playing. I think they just play really well for their unknownness. Yeah, I don't think it is. There's too many links to other accounts and all that. Yeah, I might just be being a little silly. It's whatever though. Juiced is sitting at about half health here with a full bar of energy, and Yudis is just about dead. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Juiced probably gonna take this one in just a second. Looks like they're going in for one of their last attacks here. Yudis suddenly getting the energy to be able to block it, pointing towards something in the distance, but Juice just ignores it completely and puts Yudis down. Looks like Tempex has won their match 2-0. I will put their scores in just a second once I know if it was 2-0 or 2-1. Alright, 2-0. A lot of 2-0s today. I know sometimes it's a little bit closer than this. So we are going to run losers round 2 in the background while we get into semifinals here. I don't think it's Nex, because if Nex was... Nex wouldn't use it. Nex would just be playing like normal. Getting into our next match here between the two fan favorites of this tournament, Allied and Book. Book starting off with Dragoon, and Allied starting off with Samurai. Not a very good matchup for Allied here. Dragoon hard countering Samurai in this matchup. Allied taking the initiative on this first attack, getting quite a few good hits in off of Book here. Actually quite surprising, just because of Samurai's ineffectiveness against Dragoon most of the time. Book going in for their next attack here, not getting as many hits in as I would have predicted for this matchup. And this is very surprising. Allied with a health lead decides they want to charge up a little bit. So I've fought Book a lot recently too. Looks like Book did get one hit in on the range attack, able to capitalize off of Allied's vulnerability here, getting 4 major 500 damage hits in here. Allied going in next, able to get 2 good hits off on the shoulder, getting 1 more and a bunch of lower body hits, able to bring Book down to half health here. Allied with a health lead continues to apply pressure after charging up a bit of their health, getting hits in those same areas. Allied again putting on more of that pressure, getting 1 hit to the legs, another to the shoulder, but only staying with those 2 hits this time. Book, charging a little bit, intends to capitalize off of that vulnerability and does so, getting 2 big headshots in here as well as a couple good hits to the shoulders. Both of their HP are now even. Allied, seeing an opportunity, decides to rush in, charging up their whole health bar here. Without too much energy, they're only getting a couple of these hits in. Most of what we've seen is them applying pressure, getting more hits in towards the end, and then pulling back out. Book now seeing a better opportunity to capitalize off of their vulnerability, charges up their own health bar, gets a couple good hits in, and takes the lead here. Both players now with even health regeneration. Book charging in first, getting 1 really good headshot off there, bringing Allied down to just about a hit's worth of damage. Allied now charging in, going for a quick barrage of hits in order to take the victory here. Not able to kill Book. Book trying to go for something a bit more stylish, fails his attack here. Allied left with the full block, able to just let it draw out, rush in on Book, and take the first round. You know, Mix, maybe you should pick up a fucking dictionary. I think most people understand my big, complicated words. It's not my fault you can't listen to them. But, yeah, no, that was a really surprising upset. I mean, I haven't really heard anything from Allied for, like, the past while, so... I mean, it's very surprising to see them take this much of a, like, counter matchup here. You know, you had at least like 3 spelling errors in that one sentence alone. I don't think you're gonna send me anywhere. Send you back to school. Enjoy your weekend, buddy. Looks like we are switching onto a Nightmare here. These matches are always fun to see. Usually mirrors are going to be your biggest tests of skill in the game, especially with Knight. Allied starting off very good guard break at the end there. That was very nice to watch. Left with a full health bar because of the hits they got in. Book deciding to go in for their own attacks here, not getting as many hits in. This is not how I thought this last one would go at all. I really don't want to say it, but I think Allied might be a Major League Champion level. Probably low, but still. Just coming in with some quick voodoo. Able to get very good hits in here. Book left at a disadvantage is able to get a nice double hit on Allied. Getting one more in. Looks like Book was adjusting, Allied threw something out. So they both damaged themselves just to compensate for that. Allied taking the next attack here. Gets one good poke and a series of double hits after. Tries to go for some overheads, but doesn't really profit off of them too much. Book now with a good amount of energy decides they want to rush in for their own, getting some good hits to the lower body, but whiffing some of those overhead attacks that need to be doing that damage. I think in the past matches I've played with Book this week, they've had that same issue of just like barely getting those like hits kind of over the head. Allied trying to go for some more guard breaks, left with a whole health bar of vulnerability. Book starts defending very well just to be able to charge their own health bar up and take advantage of all that vulnerability. Getting one huge double hit, automatically bringing it down to even health. Getting one more to the lower body and a hit to the shoulder, as well as another 2 hits to that shoulder, taking a huge upstart here at the end of the match. Book now with the advantage. Decides to go in for their next attack. About the same amount of energy here for both players. Allied, now with a little bit less energy, decides they want to rush in, try and get some of that health back. Able to get a couple of really good hits, though. Sorry, that left me a little bit speechless for a second. I'm not sure how all those hits got through. Allied deciding to rush in for their next attack here. Oh, please don't. Oh. Book, don't let history repeat itself. You gotta watch out for those range attacks. Oh man. The double comeback here is really throwing me off. Book having lost the comeback. Allied taking this match 2-0. That match was an emotional roller coaster for me. I swear, that was rough. I really thought the book was gonna bring that back too. We are still waiting on our next match here from Juiced and Tempex. And it does sound like there was a bit of lag on that match. Sounds like Book was saying there was a little bit of lag there. Or maybe more than a little bit. Let me go ahead and see if I can hop into their match really quickly. I'm not sure how far they've gotten into it, but looks like we're about midway into the start of this match. Tempex with the Knight and Juiced with their Scourge. Have seen them put the Scourge to somewhat good use earlier, though it did get a little bit caught up with the Knight. Tempex, we haven't seen them play Knight yet. However, they did get one big headshot off there, as well as a lot of more kind of chip damage hits going through. You missed Book absolutely throwing a match that he absolutely had twice. And Allied almost throwing again. It'll be in the VOD, don't worry. Tempex going in for some kind of larger fainting hits with Knight. Able to get a couple of good hits in there. Juiced left with a little bit more energy, still throwing out some of those harassing range attacks with Scourge that we saw earlier. Tempex again going in for a very strange style of Knight here. I haven't seen much like it. Yes, this is losers semifinals. Juiced putting that pincher kind of effect more to good use in this matchup than the one we saw before. Both players about even on health, Juiced with a slight advantage. Tempex a little bit higher on the energy regen. Juice, not satisfied with their range attacks not coming through, decides to try and get a melee attack in, but only leaves with 100 damage. Tempex now with about full energy bar goes in for their next attack here. First one having been blocked, trying to feint a little bit lower into these high attacks. Juice doing a fairly okay job of dodging. Tempex with a slight health lead here. Juice able to get one more hit in with their range attack. Forces Tempex to come in for their next melee. Juice now at a disadvantage on health, but with a very slight advantage to the energy regen. Deciding to go in for their next attack here. Getting a couple of hits in, but not the damage we want to be seeing this late into the match. Getting one more good whip crack in, leaving Tempex at a slight disadvantage on health. Juice deciding they want to start. Oof. Charged up, got a couple of good hits in. Book is not gone. They are in losers finals. Tempex deciding to go in. No hits. Juiced seeing an opportunity here. Charges in with the Scourge and takes this round. Seems like that was it for this match. So we will be moving on to losers finals as soon as I get these match scores. 2-1, so it looks like Tempex did get a match in there. From how it's going, I'm thinking it's going to be another match between Book and Allied. We did not see Book versus Juiced earlier in the tournament, so I'm not sure how this one's going to go, but considering how it has been going, I'd say it might be between Book and Allied at the end of the thing here. We're getting into our first match of Losers Finals here. Book leading off with the Samurai, and Juice starting off with Scourge. Samurai does have a little bit of an edge here at times on their offense. Scourge can overwhelm Samurai in this matchup, though. Yeah, the thing is, I just haven't heard a lot from Allied, so I wasn't really sure that they were still, like, good or playing. Juice starting off with the first attack here, able to get a couple of hits in, but leaving Book with an advantage to be able to charge up and start their attack. Book getting a couple of nice hits in on the lower body here, mostly trying to flick those shots in for the head, leaving with a slight advantage of health on Juiced. Well, that's the thing, Hydra. I've been training Book. Like, I've been fighting them for, like, the past week, and they're getting killed by the same matchups that they've been working on. Like, that night on night should not have gone how it went, but I don't know. Juiced going in for their next attack here. Book with a health lead and energy lead. Looking like they might have an edge here. But yeah, I've been playing them quite a bit this past week, so I'm just kind of wondering. Because I know my knight can reliably beat Allieds fairly often. Yeah, that's the thing, I can beat both of their knights most of the time, but Knight just has a very interesting style to how they go. Because different styles can mean you gotta defend completely differently. So I get it, but I'm hoping we'll see a bit more, like, adaptation in this next one. Juice throwing out some quick range attacks just at the end here. Book going for some, or trying to go for something a little bit stylish. Tell me to prove. Alright, you want to call me out, Allied? I'll fight you. I'll go for it, man. And if I eat my words, then hey, you deserve it, man. You got it, but say shit, I'll probably kick your ass. We have seen Juiced use their duelist a bit more, like, to higher effect in these matches. We'll see if they'll be able to counter Book's Knight with it. However, Book's Knight has shown to be put to very good effect. Okay, I'm sorry I'm crunching a bit, Allied, but listen, I'm eating some Ritz crackers and they're pretty good. I'm about finished off my drink, but I mean, I'll turn my mic off if you're gonna be calling me out for being hungry. Book getting a very large amount of hits in from those overhead attacks. Kind of forcing Juice to rush in for this one here. I'm still getting a lot of horizontal voodoo through. Book deciding to charge up. Very good call here at this point in the match. Not much risk into it. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Regnorts. It's, who needs finesse when you got a sword like this or something? Book going in for the next attack here, getting quite a few more of those kind of single chip damage hits, bringing Juice down very low on health. Looking like Book might take this one. Juice trying to get some of those feints in, but they're coming in a bit too slow. Book left with a sizable advantage is able to charge up and just rush in to end it. Getting more of those feints in and a lot of those chipping lower hits. Juice just decides to relinquish the match to Book. 2-0. Alrighty. So we will be getting into our final match here between Book and Allied. Since Book had come up from the losers bracket here, they will have to win 2 best-of-3 matches to take this belt. Or not belt, sorry. If they just want to win, you know? Allied only has to win 1. Yeah, spicy. So 2 best-of-3s, Book has to win those. Allied only has to win 1. Double Elim usually has that rule at the very end. I guess it's like a prove yourself kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see though. Let me get the codes out for you guys real quick. Yep, got our last match here, Red Wolf. No, connect to the match, god damn it. I swear this thing's a pain sometimes. Alright, so we will be starting off our finals with Book on the Knight and Allied on their Dragoon. Looks like they've been saving it for last in this tournament. I think Dragoon is one of their big classes. Knight and Dragoon have a very interesting relationship in these matches. Knight able to get some good defense and offense on Dragoon, while Dragoon has more of the same on that. Allied charging up to start the match off, going for a bit of a slower style to start, more feint oriented, able to get one good hit to the upper body there and a couple on the shoulders. However, that leaves Book with a slight opportunity to get some hits in. Allied, having charged up slightly after that attack, leaves Book with the window to get that one big headshot they just got through in. Book getting quite a lot of double hits for this matchup, leaving with a slight advantage over Allied. Allied throwing out a couple of range attacks, seeming like he was aiming at someone behind Book, I guess. Going in for their next attack after that, not getting as many of those hits in as they need to. Book charging up, seeing that opportunity there. Again, getting more of those kind of chipping hits through, as you usually see with these matchups. Allied now down to half health, Book with a very large lead here. Book getting one large double hit to the feet and a couple more good headshots through. Allied left at about a third of their health. Allied getting one hit to the legs there on the range attack. Book not charging up, not really doing much there, but does go in with what energy they have, able to secure two good double hits and another chip hit. Allied, seeing the opportunity and needing to go in, decides to go in swinging from the right. Getting a couple of hits in, but not getting enough. Book still left at half health, Allied at maybe a fifth or sixth of their health now. Book decides to rush in with a range attack, able to get lots of these chipping hits through. Book taking the first round here. What do you mean, what if they both win? Like, they just do? That's not how it works, though. I mean, I've seen tie matchups before, but there's a way to tell who actually won. It would be cool as hell if we got a tie matchup. I'd love to see that. I don't think they're both gonna win. That's not a possibility, man. Starting off our next round here, Book with the Samurai, and Allied also with the Samurai. Got a nice little Samurai mirror here. Allied leading off, going for an immediate guard break, able to chain those lower hits into a good series of hits on the left shoulder there, or the right shoulder. Able to get a substantial amount of damage in. Book charges up for their next attack, starting off with some low hits and a very nice chain of hits on the shoulders. Trying to go for a guard break, but ends up missing. Both players about even on health here. This may be a fairly close match. Allied with a slight health and energy lead. Looks like they are going in first, deciding to charge up. Book taking one hit to the right shoulder again. Allied kind of just starting to lead off with these fast hits around the shoulders. Book seeing the need to charge up and rush in, decides to go in for their next attack here. Needs to really land some big hits if they want to get this damage in. Looks like they failed a refresh there. However, both players are still even after that. Book getting one range attack in forces Allied to charge in. Allied getting very good hits to the upper body there. Book just tanking that damage. Book now charging in. Really needs to get that same amount of damage in order to keep up with this match. However, Allied, picking up their defense, is able to keep it close. You know, I would say I think both of them just need to work on their defense, like all in all. Their offense is good, but their defense is definitely slacking a little bit. Book going in for the next attack here may force Allied into a spot where they need to rush in. Getting one range attack off, really forcing Allied to rush in here. Able to defend quite a bit of the barrage this time. Allied failing one of their refreshes. Book defending just about to the end here. Book left with a substantial lead. Able to go in and take this match as well, winning the first best of 3. This may be a December 17th, 2022. 4-0. We could see another. Matches are reset after each one, so bans are reset. That is a pretty good showing so far. You know, Mix, maybe you should have just not done that, you know? This is a pretty good upstart so far. Yeah, read him like a book. In the name. But this is quite a good match so far. I'm not sure why Book had... Because Book had lost 2-0 prior to this matchup. Now Book leading off with the Duelist allied with the Knight. Book able to get one range attack off immediately, but they didn't charge up at the start here, so Allied still has an advantage on that energy. Allied looking like they're taking it a bit slower, leaving a slight advantage for Book here, since they're not able to get as many hits through. Book looking like they want to go for a more feint-oriented style. We haven't really seen their Duelist against Allied here yet, but they have been saving it for last. Able to get plenty of upper body hits and headshots mixed through here. Oldest trick in the book. Y'all are coming out with the book puns today. Speaking of books, Mix, have you tried going to a library? Maybe learning a couple words? Since my speech is too eloquent for you. Allied going in for their next attack here, sitting at half health. Book having the advantage in this match so far, with a good health advantage and a slight energy lead. Allied now choosing to charge up and go in for their next attack, looking like they're just trying to shield shred at this point, kind of giving up on that slow style. Book now going in on that vulnerability, getting 2 good hits in on the sides there, continuing to get those like quicker voodoo hits in, allied with a bit more energy. Book trying to throw out some of those range attacks. Allied failed to get their range attack off on the introductory attack here, but they are moving back to their slower playstyle now that Book's shield is a bit lower. Getting a couple of those chip damage hits through, but Book's still left with that energy advantage, decides to charge up and rush in, going for a couple more hits here. Really needs to get those headshots in this late, but is playing a bit slower now. Book's still with that health advantage, allied with a very slight energy regen. Allied choosing to run in, able to get a couple of really good hits here. More of that kind of overhead style. Book left with just a bit less health. Runs in for the offense, able to get a couple of really good introductory hits here. Continues with the voodoo into the shoulders, able to take the health lead back. Continuing with another charge, trying to end it off as quickly as possible. However, they do have vulnerability now, hitting allied once with the range attack, forcing them to come in. This is an incredibly close match. Book deciding to go in with what they have left, hitting 2 quick voodoo strikes, taking this first round in the second match. Book needs one more victory here to take the tournament. This could be a second 4-0. Oh, is there a third? I remember there being a third. Oh yeah. Oh, Jix versus Ramsey? Was that a match? I don't remember that one. Yeah, I don't remember that best of, I don't remember that one. So it looks like Allied has banned the Knight here. Looks like they are starting off with another Samurai Mirror here. Both of them charging up this time. Allied tossing out a couple of range attacks to no effect, decides to rush in with a bit lower energy because of that. Trying to go for more feints in the early game here. Getting less hits in than we saw in the prior matches with this matchup. Book now deciding to go in. We'll see if they can get a slight health advantage here. Getting an incredible amount of hits in, similar to the earlier match we saw with this. Book with a substantial health lead hits Allied with one of the range attacks, further delaying their energy regen. All Allied needs here is 2 matches to win. Book with 1. Book going on for the next attack here, able to get quite a few hits to the shoulders. Looking like they're trying to get more of those guard breaks in this time. Taking it a bit slower, getting more of those lower hits in as well. Allied about half the health of Book right now. Book deciding to charge up a bit more to get some hits in, but only manages to get one. Now left at half health with vulnerability. Allied taking one more hit from the range attack. Charges up a little bit. Book taking advantage of that immediately. Gets 800 damage off. Allied deciding to go in for their own attacks here. Gets one good hit off to the legs, getting more hits in on the shoulders here as we've seen. But not able to take that lead back. Book having a very substantial health lead, charges up to about half. Trying to go in for an immediate guard break, misses it, goes in for a secondary headshot there. Trying to get more of those low attacks in, but Allied's picking up the defense here. Allied with a slight energy lead, Book having about half more health on their lead. Allied going in for their next attacks here, able to get quite a few good hits. Still getting more of those good shoulder shots in. Now down to about even health, but Book does have the advantage on energy. Using more of those larger feints, able to really start chipping them in. And with that final hit, Book has taken the match. As we have made a third 4-0 match here. Very good showing. An absolute upset from Book here, having prior to this lost 2-0 to Allied Gold, sent down to the losers bracket, and came back up to take this match. Congratulations to everyone who competed. Congrats to Book for winning today's Major League. If you just want to DM E. McNeil or whatever, he'll send you a code for the helmet. Again, thank you to everyone who participated. I always enjoy streaming these kind of matches. They're very fun. Otherwise, I think that is all we have for now. We should be expecting a Titan League tournament sometime around December or so. I'd say mid-December. If you guys wanted that to be open, just to all ranks, let me know. I can see if I can work that out. But we will have that hosted later next month. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to all who attended. Had fun today. So, I will see you guys next December for the Titan League tournament. Alright, thank you.